Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 17th of November 2020. You can see here the two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 8 to 9 very important and most important current affairs of the day. So watch the video till last, and before proceeding I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud PDF subscription that you can buy our PDFs at very minimal cost with two methods. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box. There is a link of the subscription. You can directly click on the link and you will directly visit the subscription area. Now what you will get in the subscription, you will get the daily PDFs, you will get the weekly PDF arranged according to the week, you will get the weekly test. It is very important to evaluate yourself. There is a section of the monthly PDF also. In the monthly PDF section, you will get the 5 PDFs. One is related to the current affairs study PDF, and all the monthly current affairs in the theoretical manner will be given in the PDF. Second is related to the question and answer PDF, that all theoretical questions are converted into the question and answer format so that you can retain and revise the current affair very easily. Next is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair before exam very quickly. And next is the banking, finance and the economy PDF, very useful for the banking aspirants. And last but not the least, that is the question and answer PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs of the month will be provided in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain the current affair very easily. This subscription comes at very minimal cost. If you visit the site or if you go to the description box, you will surprised to see the price. And on that price, we are providing you 10% extra discount. That is ASH10. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get the 10% extra discount on that minimal cost. These current affairs are provided in Hindi as well as in English, guys. So let's start today's current affair, that is 17th of November 2020. And here is our first question. Which ministry launched a 3-month-long SANS, social action and awareness to neutralize pneumonia successfully, campaign to reduce childhood pneumonia deaths? So very important question, mark under very important, because it is related to the health and the environment, and that program named as the SANS. So most important keyword is the SANS. And what is the full form of SANS? Social action and awareness to neutralize pneumonia successfully. This campaign is basically started by which ministry? That ministry is related to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, because there is a no Ministry of Health only. It is a Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. All you know that Union Minister is the Harshvardhan and his constituency is the Chandni Chowk, New Delhi. So remember, it is the Ministry of Health and the Family Welfare who started this type of the program or the campaign that will be started for a 3-month time period, and that is known as the SANS. SANS you can basically remember by the name of the breathe, that is the SANS. SANS in Hindi or in English known as the breathe. So it will reduce basically the less than 5 pneumonia deaths per 1,000 live births to less than 3 deaths by 2025 through the accelerated SANS program or initiative. You can see here that Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India launches 3-month campaign to reduce childhood pneumonia deaths. So they want to reduce per 1,000 deaths to 3. That is the basic target by the year of 2025. So you have to remember this. You can see here, to reduce less than 5 pneumonia deaths per 1,000 live births to less than 3 deaths by 2025 through this program that is known as the SANS. So this is all for the news, nothing less, nothing more. You have to just remember what I said to you. So remember this. Move to next question. Recently, Lonar Lake added in the list of Ramsar site. Where this lake is situated? Recently, 2 lakes basically added in the Ramsar site list, and India's Ramsar site become now 41. Now you have to tell me both the lakes. Firstly, I am basically asking the Lonar Lake. Second, I am asking the Sursarovar. So firstly, tell me where is the Lonar or the Lonar Lake which was recently added in the Ramsar site, and mark under the most important question, guys. And remember, guys, the answer is B, and Lonar Lake is in Maharashtra. Lonar Lake is in Maharashtra. Now moving to next, that is the Sursarovar. That is the second, you can say the wetland which was added in the Ramsar site, and India's Ramsar site become 41 now. And mark under again most important, because both are related to only one question, and Sursarovar is basically related to the Uttar Pradesh, guys. Sursarovar is related to the Uttar Pradesh. Remember, the answer is D, Uttar Pradesh. And Sursarovar is also known as the Khitam Lake. Remember this. Khitam Lake. That is the another name of the Surs rover. So Surs rover in Uttar Pradesh and Lonar Lake in the Maharashtra, both added in the Ramsar sites, and India's now Ramsar sites become 41. So 2 or 3 things are important in this question. You can see here Lonar Lake in Maharashtra. This is the Lonar Lake, and second is the Khitam Lake in Uttar Pradesh, that added in the Ramsar site. This Khitam Lake is also known as the Surs rover. You can see here these 2 wetlands have been included in the list of wetlands of international importance, and now India has 41 wetlands. Remember, 41 wetlands, and it is the highest in the South Asia. What about Ramsar Convention? I already told you in the last lecture that I will basically discuss in one lecture about the Ramsar Convention. The Ramsar Convention was signed in 1971 in Ramsar. That is a place in Iran. So that's why its convention name is the Ramsar. On February 1982, the convention came to force in India. It means India joined basically Ramsar Convention in 1982. It aims to create a global network of wetlands to preserve biological diversity in the order to sustain human life, so that maximum to maximum human life can be preserved or the sustained, and it is just to conserve the biological diversity. It is considered as one of the oldest intergovernment accord for preserving the wetlands. It means intergovernment means it is a foundation on the government and it is an agreement with the government. The name of the convention is usually written as Convention on Wetlands, that is the Ramsar Convention. The wetland which are international importance are declared as Ramsar site. So you can already learn about that wetlands are also known as the Ramsar sites if they are recognized by the Ramsar Convention, and it was started in the 1971. So remember these all the things which I told you. Move to next question. 10 members of the ASEAN and how many countries signed world biggest free trade pact, that is known as RCEP, Regional Cooperation Economic Program. So remember this. This is most important question, mark under the most important, because India don't want to join this type of the group, that is the RCEP, because there is a China, and China produces very cheap things, and the China has a market to export the things. So India will not sustain in this group. So that's why India not want to join this type of the group. But 10 members of the ASEAN and 5 other countries joined this group, that is the world biggest free trade pact between these 15 countries. And these 5 countries are what are these 5 countries? And you can see here these 5 countries are China, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, and Australia. It means you can say if you move to the east side, then you can find these countries: China, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, and the Australia. They signed the 10 ASEAN member countries, that is the free trade agreement partners. It aims to create an integrated market with 15 countries, so that the maximum to maximum market can be generated within the 15 countries, and making it easier for products and services of each of the signatory countries to be available across the region, so that free trade can be take place between these countries. So this is the basic initiative of the ASEAN and these 5 countries. And remember, there is a one group, that is the ASEAN. ASEAN chairman is the Vietnam. Secretary General, that is Brunei head, that is the Dato Lim Jock Hui, no need to remember, and headquarters is in Jakarta. Remember, ASEAN chairmanship lies with the Vietnam, and Secretary General is the Brunei head, that is the Dato Lim Jock Hui, and headquarters in Jakarta. And 10 countries and 5 other nations joined this group, that is the RCEP. RCEP stands for Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, that is the meaning of RCEP. So remember, when this RCEP talks were going on, firstly its name was Regional Cooperation Economic Program, but later on it changed to Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So remember this, the full form of RCEP, that is very important. And now how many countries are under RCEP? That are 15 countries. It can be asked, it is very important question, or even mark under the most important question. And India didn't join this pact. So remember this. Next is NOPV2 vaccine for which disease become the first ever vaccine to be listed under WHO EUL, that is the emergency use listing. Mark under the most important question, because there is a keyword, that is the first ever vaccine to be listed under WHO EUL emergency use listing. And the answer is polio, guys. So remember, the answer is polio because its name is PV2, that is the polio vaccine 2. So remember, novel oral polio vaccine type 2. So remember, this is the full form of NOPV2. I'm repeating again, novel oral polio vaccine 2. This is the full form of the NOPV2. And what is this emergency use listing? This means to make the medicine, vaccines, diagnostics available faster to address the emergency, any type of the public health emergency or the international concern. And this is basically listed under the WHO emergency list. And what about WHO? Headquarters in Geneva. And who is the Director General? That is very important question. That is Dr. Tedros. Remember, Dr. Tedros is basically currently the head Director General of the WHO. So remember this. So, and the vaccine is the polio. You can see here, Biopharma, that is polio vaccine. World Health Organization, WHO approves Indonesian polio vaccine for emergency use. Now moving to our next question. Which bank has partnered with financial technology Pay Nearby to launch a neo banking platform? Now there are two keywords. One is the bank name. Second is this neo banking platform. What is this neo banking platform, or what is the meaning of this neo banking platform? Firstly, I will tell you what is neo banking. Then after that, I will tell you the name of the bank. So guys, neo bank is a type of bank that operates exclusively online. It means the online bank which do not have any physical branches or branch network, then it is known as the neo banking platform, or it is also known as the online bank, internet only bank, virtual bank, or the digital bank. That is known as the neo banking platform. Now, which bank has partnered with financial technology Nearby, Pay Nearby, to launch this type of the online banking system? And this bank is, guys, SBM Bank. So remember, SBM Bank. And what is the full form SBM? SBM, that is State Bank of Mauritius. So you can see here, State Bank of Mauritius, that is SBM Bank India network, to launch a neo banking platform. That is the online, purely online banking. SBM Bank focuses on to provide top of the line services to the wealthy and growing affluent in the India, so that they can provide the best to best services, that is the online services, to the wealthy people of India. The bank is also looking to collaborate banking in other segments where companies may have access to a large number of customers but does not have a banking license. So they also want to collaborate those persons who don't have any banking type of the experience. So they also want to attach those persons to the online services. SBM Bank India was the first foreign bank in India to obtain a banking license from Reserve Bank of India to operate as a wholly owned subsidiary in the January 2019. So remember this point. This is most important point of this question. Remember this. And next, I already told you what is the neo banking, that it is a type of bank that operates exclusively online. It doesn't have any traditional physical branch network. It means they operate only on the online mode. So this is very much needed under this type of the circumstances, like COVID-19 circumstances, or today whatever is going on, that online platform is very much required. So this is the you can say the era of the neo banking. So where is the headquarter of this SBM Bank India network? That is the Mumbai, Maharashtra. And you have to tell me also what is the name of the managing director and the chief executive officer, that is the CEO of this SBM Bank. That is the Siddharth Rath, or the Siddharth Rath. No need to remember this, but it is not so much important, but you can remember by the name of the Siddharth Rath. Move to next question. Stanfin has partnered with which card provider company to launch co-branded prepaid cards with credit lines? So many companies are basically starting their co-branded prepaid cards. Like I already told you that MobiKwik also launched the co-branded prepaid cards. Paytm also launched co-branded prepaid cards. Even Amazon also started the co-branded prepaid cards. But now this time is this Stashfin has partnered with which cardholder provider to launch co-branded prepaid cards with the credit lines? And it is, guys, Visa. So remember, Stashfin has partnered with Visa to launch co-branded prepaid cards. The credit line card has been used at physical merchant locations and ATMs, as well as the Visa accepted online modes. It means they can use as a offline mode or in the online mode. The new generation, or you can say the generation between the 18 to 35 years of old, who are just beginning their careers or are still in the early stages, are prefer not to deal with the hindrances of borrowing from a traditional banking institution. So they can borrow this type of the credit card from the Stash Financial Company. So up to 25,000 to 3 lakh rupees can be credited to their account. So they can use the this type of the card in the early type of the careers. So this is Visa, and remember the company name is the Stashfin, and this company belongs to the New Delhi, and the founder is the Tushar Agarwal of the Stash Financial Limited. And Visa, all you know that headquarters is in the California, United States. Chairman is Alfred F. Kelly. Remember Alfred F. Kelly. That is the chairman of the Visa. You can see here Stashfin partners with Visa to launch co-branded card in the South Asia. Move to next question. Who won the International Children Peace Prize 2020? Most important question, guys. Most important. International Children Peace Prize 2020. Most weighted award of the year, like the Nobel Prize, that International Children Peace Prize 2020. And this time it goes to the Bangladesh person, that is the Saadat Rahman. Saadat Rahman. Remember this. You can see the picture of Saadat Rahman. He belongs to the Bangladesh. Bangladeshi teen wins Children Peace Prize for anti-cyberbullying app. So remember, he prepared or he launched this type of the app, that is the anti-cyberbullying app. So that's why he won this type of the award, and this award presented by the most famous person, that is the Malala Yousafzai from Pakistan. You can see here the app allows young people to report cyberbullying confidentially. It also gives information about the internet safety. So this app is very much required in the today's time, because so much websites are cyber attack prone. So that's why it is very much required for the internet safety. Cyber specialists, social workers, and the police are brought together through Saadat Rahman organization. It means all the workers of the police, cyber specialists are brought by the Saadat Rahman organization at single platform, so that they can be utilized to perform better tasks for the internet safety. He has also created cyber clubs in every school in this local area, so that the students can be taught about the internet safety and the cyberbullying confidentially. So this is the main purpose of the cyber clubs. So remember the name of the student, that is the Saadat Rahman. Very important question, even mark under the most important question. Saadat Rahman from the Bangladesh. International Children Peace Prize 2020. This award basically presented by Kids Right Foundation. Remember, Kids Rights Foundation. And its headquarters is in Netherlands. And who is the founder and chairman of this Kids Right Foundation? That is the Mark Dullert, but not important. So remember just the name of the organization, that is the Kids Right. And one more important thing about the International Children Peace Prize, that this award is basically to provide a platform for the children to express their ideas and personal involvement in the children's rights. And this award every year is presented by any Nobel Peace Laureate. So this time it is the Malala Yousafzai who won this award as a Nobel Peace Prize. So remember Saadat Rahman. Move to next question. Who won Formula 1 DHL Turkish Grand Prix 2020? Again, very important question, because by this win, this person basically equaled the record of the Michael Schumacher. Firstly, you have to tell me the name of the person, then I will tell you which record he matched with the Michael Schumacher. And the answer is, guys, Lewis Hamilton from the Britain, and very much famous player from the Britain, Lewis Hamilton. You can see here, Lewis Hamilton wins 7th Formula 1 title. This time it is the 7th Formula 1 title in Turkish Grand Prix 2020. And Michael Schumacher also won the 7th Formula 1 title. And this time it is the Lewis Hamilton. Otherwise, another player who also won the 7th successive Formula 1, that is the Michael Schumacher. It means he equaled the record of the Michael Schumacher. It means in the next race or in the next title, he basically declared as the #1 player in the F1 racing. And he is a player of the Mercedes and belongs to the Britain. Remember, Lewis Hamilton driving team is the Mercedes, and had won the 7th successive Formula 1 constructors title, following Hamilton win, that is the 2020 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix on the November 1, 2020. So this is not important, but remember this is the 7th Formula 1 title. Now moving to next question, that is the World Diabetes Day, 14th November 2020. Not so much important day, but you can remember why it is celebrated and what is the theme of this World Diabetes Day. The nurse and the diabetes. It means by the theme you can remember that it focuses on the vital role of nurses in supporting the lives of the diabetic patient. Why this type of the day is celebrated? It is just to recognize the need to undertake multilateral efforts to promote and improve the health of humans and to provide access to treatment and the healthcare solution. And it is basically observed by the IDF Association. IDF stands for International Diabetic Foundation. Remember, International Diabetic Foundation, and its headquarters is in Brussels, Belgium. Another headquarter in the Brussels and Belgium is the EU, European Union. That is more important. European Union headquarter also in the Brussels, Belgium. So remember 14th November as the World Diabetes Day. So you can remember by this year also that 14th November is the Diwali day. If you eat more sweets, then you will get the diabetics. So by this you can remember World Diabetes Day. Next is the Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee passed away. Soumitra Chatterjee passed away, and he was very famous actor in the Bengali industry. So remember, he was died at the age of 85 in the West Bengal, but he was Padam Bhushan awardee, so that's why this person is important, and a very famous actor in the Bengali industry. And he started his career by the Apur, a movie named as the Apur Sansar. Apur Sansar, or the Apur trilogy. So remember Apur Sansar, that is in 1959. No need to remember another thing. If you belongs to the West Bengal, then you have to remember more things about this person. Otherwise, no need to remember. Just remember the name, that is the Soumitra Chatterjee. Move to next question. Bollywood actor Asif Basra dies. One of my favorite actor and the very best acting in various movies and the various series. Like recently he worked in the Hostages series. He worked in the Patal Lok series. That is much famous series of the Prime, and the Hostage series of the Disney Hotstar. So very famous actor, but he committed suicide in residence, his private complex in the Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh. But he was very well known for the roles of the Patal Lok and the Hostage, and one of my favorite actor, that is the Asif Basra. So remember the name of the person, Asif Basra. Very saddened news. Move to next question, that is the National Press Day. National Press Day, again that is important, that is the freedom of press, who is basically celebrated by the National Press Day. It is on the 16th of November 2020, and it is observed by the Press Council of India. Press Council of India. Remember, it is observed by Press Council of India. And where is the headquarter of Press Council of India? That is in the New Delhi. And who's the current chairman? That is the Justice Chandramouli Kumar Prasad. Remember, Justice Chandramouli Kumar Prasad, or Justice Chandramouli Prasad, you can remember. Recently he was appointed Press Council of India, and it was established in 1966. And on the same day, that is on the 16th November, that's why 16th November is celebrated as the National Press Day. And this day is observed to raise public awareness on the role of a free or independent news media in the development of the democratic society. The day is the symbol of a free and responsible press in India. So in the history, there is a question that who is known as the liberator of press? Liberator of press. So remember, it is known as the Lord Metcalfe. Lord Metcalfe. He is known as the liberator of press, or the he provided the freedom of press. So remember, it is a question of the history also. National Press Day. Next day is the 16th of November. That is the International Day for Tolerance. Again, remember, International Day of Tolerance. You can remember by the International or the National Press Day. On the National Press Day, you have to tolerate everything. So that's why it is the International Day of Tolerance. It is annually observed on the 16th of November and observed across the globe with a goal to get the educational institutions and general public to see tolerance as a crucial element of the society. So remember 16th November as the International Day of Tolerance, and main organization involved is the UNESCO. Main organization involved is the UNESCO. UNESCO is the United Nations Educational, Scientific and the Cultural Organization. Director General is the Audrey Azoulay, and headquarters is in Paris, France. So this is to be remembered. Move to next last section, that is the one-liner important questions. First one is the Dr. Sushanta Kar honored with Professor A.N. Baduri Memorial Lecture Award 2020. He is a senior scientist under the CSIR, that is the Council of Scientific and the Industrial Research. So Dr. Sushanta Kar. So remember, he won basically A.N. Baduri Memorial Lecture Award 2020. Next is the one rank, one pension scheme completes the 5 years. Not important, but just I covered so that you can remember the scheme. Next, SpaceX launches 4 astronauts into the space, under which 3 astronauts belongs to the America and 1 astronaut belongs to the Japan. And they basically launched 4 astronauts to the International Space Station on the first full-fledged taxi flight from the NASA. So remember this. and this capsule has been named as the Resilience. So this have to remember, this capsule or this flight basically named as the mission Resilience or the Resilience. So remember this. Move to next. Researchers from IIC, that is the International Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Science, that is in Bengaluru, and CES discover 5 new species of the vine snakes. Not so much important. If you want to read the names of the vine snakes, then you can visit our website. Next, DRDO successfully test fires quick reaction or the surface to air missile system. So remember, surface to air missile, that is the quick reaction, that is launched by the DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization, and this headquarters is in Delhi. And who is the chairman? That is the Satish Reddy, G Satish Reddy. Next, Vietnam chaired the 15th East Asia Summit 2020. Vietnam is basically chairman of the East Asia Summit 2020. So remember this. This is just one-liner questions, but these are also important. So this is all for today, guys. And if you like this video, guys, please like this channel, and 700 plus likes. We want 700 plus likes so that we can make more content and even more videos on the different contents. And if you can subscribe our channel, and you can also press the bell button icon so that you can basically receive the video on time, and you will also get the notification for that. And it is a Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and take care.